Let's start with our first story. Today's story comes from our confession, and it's a doozy. I did it in the bathroom at college. I don't know why, but it just happened. I'm in college and I never had the urge to masturbate in public space. Ever. It's crazy because as a child, when I was in kindergarten, I was scared to use the bathroom, very much terrified of shitting and other people hearing. Look at me now. At the ripe age of 21, where did it all go wrong? I am never usually horny, and even if I am, it's manageable, and I don't indulge in it. I have a great sense of self-control. I mean it, this is genuinely a one-time outlier event. But these past 2 days, it was overbearing, to the point I couldn't handle it anymore. I kept squeezing my legs. F***ck, it was just so much I don't know. I started looking up very raunchy things, but I was still in one of the buildings, and I just decided to go to the bathroom. I didn't give a **T if anyone came in. I didn't care. I just didn't. The scariest part? I had no shame, and I still have no sense of shame. In a clear state of mind, wouldn't even dare to do, but I was like, what's stopping me? But it feels unreal. How did it happen? Why did it happen? Why did I do it? Why does it feel like a dream? This can't be okay. This is very much not okay, but I lost all sense of care and boundaries. I don't know. Even though I'm still, and I'm just crossing my legs. I don't understand where it came from. I'm not like this. I'm never like this. Edit. Hey guys, it's 4 in the morning. I've got to say I'm so thankful so many of you were supportive and some of you took to my concern. To clarify, this isn't the craziest thing I've done, but when I did riskier things, it was all out of fun and games. It wasn't because I did it in a public bathroom, though I thought it was a part of it, since I'm somewhat repelled to how dirty they can be. But what scared me is that I had absolutely no control over what I felt, and barely control over my actions in that moment. That hasn't never happened to me, and it's now. Let's see what Reddit had to say about this. Comment 1, NTA. You pay for your seat. You don't owe anyone anything. Comment 2, YTA. A little kindness goes a long way. What's your take? Comment below. And if you want more stories like this, subscribe now. Story number 2. What would you do in this situation? Let's dive into today's story from Reddit. My 26F best friend, 27M, of 8 years told me he has feelings for me and now I don't know how to act around him. How do I move forward without losing the friendship? Me and Jordan have been best friends since our second year of university. Like, genuinely one of the most important people in my life. We've traveled together, been each other's +1s to every wedding, helped each other through breakups, the whole thing. Our friend group has always kind of joked that we act like a married couple, but we both always laughed it off, and it never felt weird to me. About 3 weeks ago, we were at his place, just watching something, and out of nowhere he got really quiet and told me he needed to say something. He said he's had feelings for me for a long time, and that he wasn't saying it to pressure me into anything. He just couldn't keep pretending it wasn't there. I didn't know what to say, so I said I needed time to think. He said that was completely fine, and that whatever I decided, he didn't want to lose me. Here's the thing. I don't feel that way about him romantically, at least I don't think I do. When I try to imagine us together, it just feels strange, like trying to picture something that doesn't fit. But I also can't figure out if that feeling is real, or if I've just never let myself go there because I always assumed it wasn't an option. I've been overthinking it so much that now, every time we text or hang out, I feel this weird self-consciousness that wasn't there before, like I'm monitoring everything I say and do. We've hung out twice since he told me, and both times felt slyly off. Not bad, just careful. Like we were both trying too hard to act normal. He hasn't brought it up again, and I respect that, but I also feel like I owe him an actual answer, and I keep putting it off because I genuinely don't know what to say. I don't want to hurt him, I don't want to give him false hope either, and I really don't want to lose what we have. Has anyone been on either side of this? How do I have this conversation in a way that's honest, but doesn't just blow everything up? TLDR, best friend of 8 years confessed feelings for me now. Let's see what Reddit had to say about this. Comment 1, NTA. You paid for your seat. You don't owe anyone anything. Comment 2, YTA. A little kindness goes a long way. What's your take? Comment below. And if you want more stories like this, subscribe now. Story number 3. What would you do in this situation? Let's dive into today's story from Reddit. I used to remotely tamper with our family Wi-Fi router to get some sleep from my brother screaming at Call of Duty all night. Many moons ago, when I lived at my family home, my younger brother was addicted to playing Call of Duty and was one of those teenagers that would take it way too seriously. My bedroom was downstairs and his above mine, and when he'd lose or get killed in a way he decided was unfair, he'd shout down his headset and slam his feet onto the ground, which shook my whole bedroom. This would go on until the early hours of the morning, despite me asking him time and time again to please keep it down. It got to the point where I was exhausted all the time after being constantly woken up. I even recall this happening until 3 a.m. the morning of a job interview. which I subsequently failed as I couldn't even think straight. He was a bit of a psycho in those days, and so he wouldn't care he was keeping me up. If I did anything by force like switch his PlayStation off, or whatever, then he'd likely retaliate far more severely, so I needed to find a way to make it seem like it wasn't me. It would be too obvious if I'd turned the entire router off and on, as it takes time to re-establish itself. I opted to log into our router's settings via my phone and would change the password to something else, then change it back again. This would automatically boot off everything on the network for just a moment and then reconnect. It was perfect. If he got too loud, then I could just boot him off the game, and it would look like an outage or a server issue in-game. Then I'd let him start another game, and would repeat the process until he eventually got fed up of it and turned it off. I think it also created a Pavlov's dog response in him not to get so angry at it, or it would mysteriously disconnect. He never caught on to it being me, though he did comment on how much better the Wi-Fi had been after I moved out. Guess it must be because it's using less bandwidth. I lied. TLDR. I'd changed the Wi-Fi password to boot his PlayStation off the network before putting it back, because now let's see what Reddit had to say about this. Comment 1, NTA. You paid for your seat. You don't owe anyone anything. Comment 2, YTA. A little kindness goes a long way. That's it for today's story. Hit that like button if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more.